Good morning. All right, y'all, it's raining here. It's supposed to rain for the next 3 days. So that doesn't make me happy. It makes my garden happy, but it doesn't make me happy. I forgot to turn off the floodlights. All right, I'm gonna be back at 11. I'll do it then. I'm not getting out because it's raining here. Good morning. So I want to share with you all something that an acquaintance and I were talking about, and he is a man, and he was talking about his frat brother who is unmarried and has no children, that he had a recent kind of health. Okay, sorry, I disconnected because I pulled away from the house. So this friend of mine, or acquaintance of mine, we were having this conversation the other night about his frat brother, and his frat brother has never been married and has no children. And so he works at a school. He also is a musician at his church. And he was talking about how he had this health emergency, and that for about 5 days, no one really checked in on him. No one really realized that something was wrong with him. So apparently he had had a stroke, and he was acting very odd. You know, he was acting very unusual, but he continued to, like, you know, go to his church and play and go to work. And he went to all these places, but his behavior was very unusual. And no one in those 5 days, he hadn't, like, reached out like he normally does. He hadn't called or texted anyone. But he did show up at the places he was supposed to be. And then on that last day, he did not show up for work, didn't call, didn't show up, and no one, like, checked in on him. No one noticed. So anyway, my acquaintance friend said, well, you know, it was very unusual for him not to post or comment about another frat brother, you know, who had something happen in his life. That was very unusual for him to not congratulate or say anything. And so I then became very curious, like, okay, well, what's going on? Why aren't we hearing from him? What's happening? And long story short, he discovered again that this friend had had kind of a mild stroke, but was continuing to operate, continuing to try to go about his life, even though his brain was impaired. He was acting strange, you know, doing strange things, but yet he was going to all these different places that he normally goes, and that no one really noticed. No one really, like, checked in on him, or no one really, you know, people were interacting with him, but no one really cared or gave a damn, you know, that he was different than his usual self. And so he's, you know, talking about this and how disturbing it is and how upset he is. And I'm thinking, okay, he also has not been married and has no children, and, you know, lives alone. He's older, closer to my age. And then I'm hearing about other men that he knows like this, you know, older men, 40, 50-ish, never been married or not currently married, and having no children, having no family. And I just began to think to myself, so I'm thinking about the whole Kevin Samuels situation and him saying, you know, women are going to die alone, and if you're over this age, if you're over 35, you're a leftover woman, and all of this. And I'm thinking, okay, so I'm just taking all of this information in, and I'm saying no one should die alone, right? Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman. I think the moral of this story, whether it's, you know, what happened to Kevin Samuels, whether it's what happened to, you know, my friend's friend, or anybody, and I used to hear these stories online or on television about people, you know, dying in their home, and 5-6 days go by. I think the worst story I heard was a man who died in his home and a month went by. And it was only when mail was piling up and, you know, grass was going uncut, like everything was just, you know, looking crazy, that someone said, hey, you know, we haven't seen this guy, his car hasn't moved, and this and that. And I believe the moral of the story is no one should die alone. What I believe is happening in our modern day culture that I think is shameful, it's disgusting, it's abhorrent, is that we have lost our ability to be a community. We have completely forgotten about the importance of having people in our lives. And this is a very unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it because, I'm auntie and that's just what I do. I give my, unpopular, harsh truth, to people. But I believe because we are prioritizing money, we are prioritizing career, we are prioritizing, just all the selfish things that people want, instead of prioritizing relationships, instead of prioritizing people, instead of prioritizing family, marriage, the things that, in my opinion, those things matter. Those things matter long term. Having a family, having people miss you, because there are a whole lot of people right now, y'all, that if something happened to them, no one's missing them. No one's, sad that they're gone. No one's, they're not building. And we're always talking about building a legacy, right? I'm hearing a lot of people talk about that, building a legacy. But that includes your people. That includes your children and their children. That includes the people that you help with your volunteerism or your service. We are so disconnected as a society. And that's all of us. That's not just women and that's not just men. That's all of us. And we don't prioritize. We don't think it's important to get married anymore. We don't think it's important to have children. We don't think it's important to have a best friend. Do you know how many clients, they come into my office and I say, do you have a best friend? It is becoming commonplace now for people to say no. I'm just like, what? No. I have people this month that I'm trying to discontinue their therapy. Like, they have met their therapeutic goals. They are doing better. Sorry, my throat is dry. And so that's the time when I, as the professional, say, so, our time is done. We've met your therapeutic goals. You seem to be doing better. And they're just coming in talking about, shooting the breeze, having coffee, because I have a coffee bar in my office. They're just having coffee, shooting the breeze. They're talking about what's going on with me, I'm like, okay, you're better. You're doing better. And it's time, I don't know if some of you all know that, but therapy isn't meant to last forever. Therapy is, you're not meant to be in therapy for years and years and years. That's something you see in the movies. That's not how therapy is meant to go. But because so many people don't have people, I am their person. And they feel the way. I had 2 people yesterday. They felt a way that I was like, so we're going to start to wind down on your therapeutic journey. And they felt a way about me saying that. What? Well, you can't do that. You can't stop. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Let me educate you on the type of therapist I am. I am a solution-focused brief therapist. I don't want to see clients for years and years and years because I know that's not helpful or beneficial to them long term. They start to use me in therapy as a crutch. They can't go out into the world and live life and learn how to cope and use the skills that I taught them. They just want to run into my office every week. I don't allow for that. I don't want that. So yeah, when I see you're doing better, you're coming in and you're just having coffee and you're just asking me what's going on and we're just talking about what's going on in the world and in the news, you're better. You've met your therapeutic goals. You don't have anything else to talk about. You don't have anything to work on. But it's their fear of, oh my gosh, I don't have people. I don't have anyone to talk to like this. I don't have a non-judgmental ear or person that gets me, that, validates me. Like, therapy is amazing. And for some people, it can be addictive. But again, what I'm trying to teach people is I help them when they're in crisis. I help them develop skills and tools. I soothe their nervous system. They're in a state of crisis. I get them to a better feeling place. I give them skills and tools. And, and my intention is to send them out into the world with those skills and tools. Like that's what I do. But I do not want to be a crutch for anyone. I'm not your best friend. We're not friends, and that can be really hard for people to hear. But therapy is not meant to be that. It's meant to be a tool that you use for a specific period of time, and you get what you need, and then you go out into the world and you manage your life. And a lot of people don't understand that. And here's the thing. If you hit a bump in the road, if something else happens, you can come back. A lot of my clients do. A lot of my clients come back. My door is always open. However, it is not meant for you to come and sit on my couch every week or every 2 weeks for years. Like, I'm not interested in that as a therapist. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in helping as many people as I can and giving them what they need, sending them out into the world, wishing them well, praying for them. I pray for all of my clients. And then, if something happens, please come back and see me, because we already have an established relationship. Like, that's how that works. But people don't have people. And that is men and women. Like, I'm going to be honest with you all. There are some women out here who, I don't have any female friends. Women are catty. I don't rock with women like that. And then if you don't have any male friends, if you don't have a man in your life, if you don't have good relationships with your mother, your father, your brothers, your sisters, your aunties, your uncles, your grandma, your grandpa, you don't have nobody. You don't get along with nobody at work. People at work get on your nerves. Like, this is the stuff I'm hearing. And I'm sorry, boo, it's you. It's something going on with you. If you can't get along with nobody, come on. We need people. And what that is teaching you is that you shouldn't tolerate anything or anybody being less than perfect. That's not real. That's not real life. Yes, my mom gets on my nerves. My daddy gets on my nerves. My kids, y'all know my kids get on my nerves. And yet, I need all of that. I have best friends. I have girlfriends. I have male friends. I have colleagues. I have other clinicians that, I have people. I have neighbors. I have my people. And those people are far from perfect. They do and say things that I'm like, really? But it's all a part of the process of having people. And we need people. We as a society are totally getting away from this. And yes, a lot of us are dying alone. A lot of us are getting sick, and we have no resources as far as people to help us, to check in on us, to see how we're doing. Yeah, we are dying alone. And it is the saddest thing ever. But here's the unpopular, harsh truth. Some of us, it's us. It's us not building those relationships. It's us not prioritizing what's really important, which is marriage and family and children. And let me just say, I'm not sitting here telling you to put up with someone in your family that is completely toxic, someone that is abusive. No, that's not what this message is about. No one is allowed to abuse you, regardless of their title. That's not what this is about. But y'all be thinking people's little quirks, people's little attitudes, whatever their little funny thing is. Oh, I can't deal with them. I can't deal with it. And see, that's what I'm talking about. No, that's just called life. That's just called life. No, there are no perfect people. People are going to say and do things that get on your last nerve. And that's just called so what? I'm not going to stop talking to my mama, because every time I go over there, she trying to convert me into her religion or what. Okay. So no, that's just what I'm going to say every single time. And then it shuts her down. She's done. And then we move on. See, that's not worthy of me trashing the whole relationship with her. Like, she gonna keep trying. She gonna keep trying. That's just who she is. So, yeah, some of y'all, you gotta get stronger. You gotta deal with some quirky, weird, odd stuff. People are messy. People are messy. And again, this is not about abuse. This is not about neglect. This is not about people who are just completely toxic and abusive. This is not that. This is not me telling you to put up with that. This is me telling you that you got your stuff. God knows I do. Okay. I got my weird ways. I got ways that my mother does not like. I got my stuff. And thank God people are dealing with it. People are saying, you know what? Anita's good outweighs her bad. Thank God. But no one should die alone. No one should be sick alone. No one should suffer a stroke or fall down and can't get up, and no one checks on them. No one wonders why they didn't show up to work or why they haven't moved their car in weeks. This is a societal issue. Kevin Samuels made it about women, but it's about everybody. It's about everybody. You know what? Kevin Samuels, on his last day on earth, he was fortunate enough to have, had a woman there with him. He was fortunate enough to have someone there with him. Someone that, whether he met that woman before the night before, or the rumor is he knew her way before. So it wasn't a one night stand. He knew this woman. So regardless of how he knew her, he had another human being there with him. Now, what the nature of their relationship was, I mean, they weren't married. It wasn't a deeply intimate, deeply spiritually connected relationship. But, it could have been more. Well, the rumor is it was more than just a one night stand. So, but that's still sad to me. That's still so sad to me that there was no wife, there was no love of my life, there was no family, children, multiple children. Apparently he had a daughter, but there was no multiple children. There was no best friend, people are saying he did have good friends. He had other people in the manosphere and good friends. But honestly, y'all, this is what's really sad. A lot of those men found out through Twitter. They found out about his demise through Twitter. That is not okay. It is not okay for the closest people to me to find out about my death through Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. That is not okay. It is not okay for his mother to find out through social media. That is not okay. So if nobody has said it, I'm going to say it. We need people. And we need to do better. I hope this message makes you reflect. I need to reflect. Do I have a best friend? Do I have three people? Do I have three people that I could call on my darkest day? Do I have an emergency contact in my phone? Do I have people that care about me, that love me, and that I love and care about? Do I have people checking in on me? Do I have people in my life? Do I have relationships that matter? Do I have relationships with people that I'm married to or have children with or have a deep connective, maybe you're not married, but you have a live-in partner, whatever. Do I have people? Your dog doesn't count. Your cat doesn't count. I have pets. I love pets, but I need people. My dog can't help me if I fall out in the floor. He just gonna sit there by my side until somebody show up. We need people. So no one should die alone. No one. Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, it makes me sad, the state that we are in right now in our modern day culture, that we don't prioritize having deep, meaningful, intimate relationships. That's like gone. And it's not everybody, because like I said, I do. A lot of my friends do, So, but what I'm seeing, a lot of younger people, so millennial people, Gen Z people, it makes me really sad that a lot of them don't have this. That you don't have a best friend. You don't have someone to process through your traumas and your emotions with. That you've got to, yes, there's nothing wrong with therapy. But for people who are like, yeah, I'm going to go into therapy and sit there for 5 years. No, it's not meant for that. It is meant to give you professional tools and skills for a temporary period of time and for you to go back out into the world and manage your life and have people out in the world to support you, because I'm not always going to be here. I have had times where I have had family emergencies. I've had 10 clients, y'all, in one day. I've had family emergencies and I just email all of them. Can't make it. And some of those people freak out. And I'm thinking, you need a friend. Like, you need a friend. You need a mother or a father or auntie or uncle or somebody to support your behind, because I have my family. I have my own life, and trust and believe. And I don't care who don't like it. Trust and believe that when my people need me, oh, I'm going to be there. Oh, I'm coming. I'm coming. I like everybody knows, I am a woman with a career, not a career woman. I have talked about this too many times. I'm a woman with a career. Who I am as a woman will always come before my career. My family, my friends, those things that will always come before my career. So, this is the PSA for today. We need people, and no one should die alone. I know, Kevin was being flippant when he said that, and he was being inflammatory. He was getting people all riled up when he said that. But the truth is, no one should die alone. No one should have no emergency contact, no close friend, best friend, people checking on them regularly, intimate, deep, close relationships, people who know you and who you know. No one should live like that. No one. Ladies, thank you for joining me. I'm just going to check to see if there were any comments. Okay. She says, these men are telling women they'll die alone, but it's them who are dying alone. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. It's not just women. It's not just men. It's everybody. There's a lot of people dying alone. And like I said, my friend was telling me just recently, my friend had this stroke and he just went about his day, went about his life for 5 days and no one really noticed. Yeah. So, we need people. We've got to prioritize people and human relationships, human contact. And I love pets. I love animals as much as the next person, but I need people. These people who are saying, oh, I'd rather deal with animals rather than with people. But they can't save you. They can't help you if you get in an emergency. You just out of luck, So, no, we need people and we must do better. So, thank you so much, ladies, for joining me this morning. Please check out the YouTube channel. I'm going to be working on it today and the rest of the weekend, putting up new content, new videos there. Please consider subscribing. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. I'm trying to get to the 1,000 subscribers. And it's a great resource to get a lot of free content. There's a lot of free content over on YouTube. So thank you so much for joining me this morning. And as always, stay open to love.